Hello, this is Alec Kerr, the film critic for the Conway Daily Sun with...
Nikki Martinez from Magic 104.
And today we're going to talk about Pixar's 10th feature-length film. 10. Up. And yeah, we've got... interestingly, like, the Pixar movies, they're getting fewer and fewer voices.
Yeah, that's true.
So the voice talent for this is pretty sparse. You've got Ed Asner as this old man, Carl. And then you have Christopher Plummer as another old man. Two old men.
Charles Muntz.
Charles Muntz, yes. And then we have an unknown kid actor playing Russell, who is essentially a Boy Scout. And his name is Jordan Nagai. And do you have some other voices in there, like Delroy Lindo and the Pixar mainstay?
Yes. John Ratzenberger. Who is in all 10.
All 10.
I think in all 10 of them.
Yeah, this is trademark. And this is just an unbelievably sweet and heartwarming. And that word gets tossed around so much, but this really is heartwarming and heartbreaking. And it's just an absolutely wonderful story about Carl and Ellie are these two little kids who want to be explorers when they grow up. And in like the first 10 minutes, you see their life together. They get married. And it's just...
It's kind of that sweet, perfect childhood love.
Right. And so you get to see, it's like this 10-minute, like, maybe it's not even 10, like 5-minute silent sequence of just their entire arc of their relationship. And it's so sweet. And if you don't cry, you are completely heartless. Or if you don't get at least teared up a little bit.
Exactly. Or like, you know, the face at least.
And then, so, and this isn't giving away, but Ellie dies. And so Carl, who was this, when he was with Ellie, was this free spirit and this, lovable guy. He becomes a recluse, and when they threaten to throw him into a retirement home, he takes his house. He was a balloon salesman. He takes all of his balloons, and he takes off.
It's so awesome.
To South America. and Russell, this Boy Scout, accidentally gets stuck on the porch, and so they're off to South America, and they go on this adventure he was trying to have his whole life, and he finally gets to go on it, and they pick up all these, extra characters, Doug, this dog that has a collar that allows him to speak, and this prehistoric bird that becomes named Kevin.
Yeah, and Russell asks to have him as the pet.
Right, and asks Doug to have Doug as the pet. And they just go on all these adventures. And I don't want to give away the adventures because they're really pretty imaginative and just so many surprises. And I can't oversell this movie. Like, I love Pixar, and it just seems like they're getting better and better. I mean, especially with these last three, with Ratatouille, WALL-E, and now Up, they're on another level.
Oh, it's insane.
They're on another level for animation. And like, these aren't just great animated movies.
No.
They're great movies, period. In terms of the characters, the emotion, the story, these are just amazing films, and I can't praise that up enough.
And it's so sad because for the longest time, I've tried so hard to go and fight the good fight for DreamWorks because I love Pixar. I love Pixar. I always have. They've done amazing things. But I also love DreamWorks because, they're the kind of the underdog. They really have been. They've tried so hard, and we talked about it when we watched Monsters versus Aliens. Like, they tried so hard, and whether it's getting all of these big star names or just the different storylines, and they really do, and they're funny stuff, but they can't add up to Pixar.
The problem is, like, Pixar just makes films that are really just so character-driven, and I think the DreamWorks, they're just trying to be joke-driven, and the jokes don't really come from the story. Here, with Pixar, the story and the jokes are very intertwined. With DreamWorks, it's very much kind of just, like, pop culture references and stuff like that, which is funny.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But they're just more like straight-up comedies, where the Pixars are just so...
They really are on a different level,
they're on a different level.
Because, they really convey so much emotion. I think I would have to say between this and WALL-E, because I was watching it with a group of friends of mine, and they had not seen WALL-E.
Yeah.
None of the three of them had seen WALL-E, but they were watching Up, and they got so upset at me because they're like, this was supposed to be a good movie. It's a good movie,
it's great
but
film.
it was emotional, so they're getting upset because they're like getting all sad, and I was like, oh, if you think this is sad, just watch WALL-E, because at least with this, there was, in WALL-E there was a happy ending.
Right.
But in this one, I thought it was a lot happier.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot more.
And you might have tears of joy with this too, because it's just like there's. And by no means is this trying to say this movie is a downer of a movie, but this is a very emotional film. It's probably one of the most emotionally resonant animated features I've ever seen. Like, I got so emotionally connected to these characters.
Yeah. Well, I did with WALL-E also. Right. I actually think that I got more emotionally down, I guess, at times with WALL-E than I did with this.
Yeah, WALL-E's... I mean,
WALL-E's WALL-E!
They tack on a happy ending to that thing, but if you really think about WALL-E, it is about a very bleak future for humanity.
So at least with this, it dealt with like real life situations that I, like other people have dealt with.
And there are adventure sequences
Exactly.
here.
So it balances out some really like sadder parts. You've got hilarious parts.
And there's some very funny parts, especially involving Doug.
The dog.
And and a lot of the humor, there are obvious jokes, but a lot of the humor is just really kind of more subtle. And and one of my favorite parts, and I can't believe how long they stretched it, is when Russell's being pulled along the glasses, and they had it go for so long, and it was just so fantastic.
Because you're just like, and it was at the perfect timing, because right before that there was a lot of emotion that was going on. So overall, this has to be so far one of the best, I would say, is one of the best cartoons of the year so far.
I'd say one of the best movies of the year. Even.
Well, one of the best movies of the but when we're looking at cartoons, specifically animation, this is definitely hands down. It's the WALL-E of this year.
Yeah,
it really is so far.
Yeah. And as for the Pixar versus DreamWorks, DreamWorks last year really held their own with Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, they did.
I don't think Monsters versus Aliens really holds up to this. I mean, it's a fun movie, but it doesn't hold up.
No.
So, yeah, definitely go see Up.
Yes.
It is spectacular.
Yes, it was amazing.
It's amazing. So, this is Alec.
I'm Nikki.
And keep watching.